Well, good evening, everybody. I'm going to double check my microphone to make sure it's working. It looks like that it is. So that's a good thing. One thing I like about Prism, they can show me that the mic is alive. So I am in downtown Albany at the New York State Capitol building, which is under construction. And just giving an update of where I'm at and where I'm heading here in the next couple of days. 23, in fact, to my daughter's wedding. And looking at some architecture here in Albany, New York. So anyhow, I'm going to show you something I think is pretty cool, and take me a minute to get over to it. But the New York State Education Building's downtown, and since I've worked for the education system my entire career and know a little bit about this building, I'd like to take a little peek-see poo at it. I've been in it before years ago. I had to do some work one summer, and found out some information about it that I think is pretty impressive. In fact, the building itself is very impressive. I believe it's 900 feet long, if I remember correctly. But what's really cool about this building is not only is it the state education building, it is the longest building of columns in the United States of America. So those columns that you see right there are 36 of them over a 900-foot span. And that 900 feet, and those 36 pillars are the greatest number of pillars, about 90 feet tall each of them, outside of the Parthenon, which has 46 pillars. So yeah, that's the information as I remember it, and I don't know if there's a plaque over there to confirm what I'm telling you, but I'll probably give it a look in just a minute. There's another story about this. There's a cathedral that's behind the building, and when this was being built, back in 1912, if I remember correctly. The people who, hey, how you doing, Nick? Cole, what's up, buddy? I was just talking about this building here. This is a New York State Education building. And what's interesting about this building is there are 36 columns on it. It's about 900 feet long. It's what they call Beaux Art style building out of Paris, France. And those 36 pillars are second to the Parthenon, which has 46. So and I used to do some summer work for the education department, being a teacher, and spent some time in there. So it's even more interesting. And I'm going to get across the street here, try to do it safely, and not get run over. Um, what's more interesting is when you walk through the front door, which I know is locked right now. It's 90 feet. Well, these pillars are 90 feet, and I'll talk a little bit why they designed them the way they do too. Where am I, Nick? I'm in downtown Albany, in Albany, New York, and that is the Albany, New York State Capitol right there. And just down the road, that Dutch-looking building is the New York Albany City building. So that's where the mayor would be. This would be where the governor would have an office. The governor's mansion is just a little bit away from here. And but anyhow, this is a New York State Education building. Oh, you could get lost here a little bit, but it's a really small city. So this is Route 9 and 20, which I'll be running a little bit this summer. A few spots out on it that I'm going to take a look at. And yeah, you get lost here. Yeah, it's small though. 920 runs straight through it, and there's not really a whole lot to Albany. We joke around here that it's called Smallbany because it's pretty small. Back? Am I back? I don't know why this thing keeps muting. It did it to me the other day. You can hear me? Okay. I'm going to keep this thing off and just hold on to it. That way I can, I'm watching. I've left my little volume on, but yeah, you can't get in here now, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd walk you in. It's wide open, rotunda. It's really impressive. But anyhow, so the wedding comes up in 23 days. I got fitted for the suit yesterday. I was going to actually film do live fitting, and the guy who actually fitted me is a YouTube guy. He said, "Don't do it." He said, "Leave it, leave it for a big reveal. If can you hear me now?" Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one. It's a little quirky. I got another one in the truck, which I may go some out and see if it just works off the phone. Hang on. Can you hear me? I had to take that out of there. It's just going to be a pain in the butt. That one microphone I've got to get rid of. I got a DJI one, and I do have to hook it up to the DJI. So I was trying to have this mic on with the muffler because it's a little bit breezy and there's traffic, but we'll make do with what we got. So anyhow, I was saying I got fitted for my suit yesterday, and I wanted to do the live stream, and I was telling the guy, how much weight I've been losing, and really since the beginning of December, I'm down 49 pounds. Which is nice. And he's like, "Oh, it's really good." And I said, "I want to, kind of do a live fitting." He goes, "Don't." He goes, "I do YouTube. You want to keep that for yourself." He said, "Then what you'll end up doing is you'll just do a big reveal at the wedding." And he's given me some really good ideas about vlogging. And I showed him the Tony Pacos. He goes, "That's what you want to do?" I said, "Yeah, once I have the time, that's what I plan on doing." So, so really, that's really what's come down to. I think I've made that fairly clear to everybody. It's just timing for me has just been crazy with all the softball and the travel, and so. But I don't mind doing this. Walk around a little bit, show off a little bit locally. Troy, New York. This being Albany, we're probably 10-15 minutes from where I was this weekend, showing that off. And again, it'd be nice to have this microphone on, but we're going to go past the noisy fan here in just a second. And I'm just trying to get down to the front of the building here and show off the $70 million staircase they're putting in, which I have not seen yet. I just know that they're doing it. And show off the cathedral, because there's a big battle, a tug of war between this building being built and the bishop at the time. From what I remember, I gotta pull that history. A lot of this I'm gonna throw into my Route 20 bit, but so they built this thing right in front of a cathedral, and the bishop was not happy about it because it obstructed his view of the Capitol, which I'm not really sure why he cared. But anyhow, so well, you can see an old church way out in the distance. Unfortunately, that was abandoned years ago, and that actually, I can't remember when they abandoned that. I was young when it happened, and the Catholic Church just couldn't afford to keep it up, and they abandoned it. But it's either on this side or the other side. There was a church up on Arbor Hill, and it might even be that church actually, where the bishop was just miserable that they built this building. Now, obviously, they've added on here in the probably the 70s, this mess. Unfortunately, they tied it into this beautiful building. You think they would have thought that through a little bit more, but they didn't. And that actually might be the Cathedral of St. Patrick's. And yeah, that's it. And so that, unfortunately, they had a great view through, but since then they've done a bunch of other stuff around here. But, so that goes back to the original building of this building. And then you got a nice little park right here. And Albany, about world record front mirrors. Oh yeah, listen, Albany politics is different. I don't really get into politics that much. I sit back and kind of laugh at it. It's just, to me, it's just, a bunch of people who take an opportunity to, tell you a story, try to get you to come to their side, and then, when they get in, they got to make decisions. And everybody says, "Oh, they're lying to you, they're lying to you." I don't know if they're lying to you, or they found out they just don't have the money to do the things that they needed to do, like the budget doesn't support it. So, and I think some of them are flat out lying, obviously, but yeah, so anyhow, again, this is just Albany. They keep it up. It's in some areas it's really nice, and in other areas it's like every other city, you know. In every other area you travel to, you're going to have your spots that you don't want to be roaming around in, depending on the time of night. And they try their best to kind of keep, there's a homeless population here like anywhere else, and they do try to keep it from being in these areas as much as they possibly can. So like I said, this is definitely an area where I'll be spending a little bit of time, but really what I'm going to start to do is really kind of hone in on what, you know, what works, you know. And I've been kind of really humming and hawing about doing that hot dog series, just because I don't want to throw the weight on. And the more I think about it, you know, it's probably unlikely I'd throw the weight on. Just too concerned about getting back to where I came from. So I may throw a little hot dog series in, you know, from town to town, or chase it across the state of New York. And, you know, I had one crazy idea that I was talking to CeeLo about. CeeLo or maybe Chad, I can't remember who, that maybe I'll do 50 hot dogs in 50 states since I'll be retired, you know, just kind of make a funny series out of it. It's all out there, you know. I'm more into the history and nostalgia. Like these old buildings, I'm in architecture, but I got to find something that, if I'm going to try to get the channel to grow more, I got to find something that will obviously attract the crowd. And you know, this type of stuff, like I said, interested me. Again, a real beautiful old city. Sadly, they've let parts of it go into decline. And we're talking about beautiful buildings. In fact, right down here, talking about politics, Cole. Hey, Woo, how you doing? Right here, you'll see in front of the city offices, City Hall, there is a planter, it looks as if, but there was a statue of John Schuyler here, and Schuyler apparently had owned slaves back in a time where, unfortunately, you know, slaves were an acceptable thing at that time. And we decided, you know, it might have been 2021, that we were going to try the evils of the past, and they tore down the statue. And underneath it was a time capsule that they pulled out. Now, I don't know what they found in the time capsule, but this is the court right here, another beautiful building. We used to get our Christmas pictures here in this park because they do a real nice lighting it up, and if you have the right angle, you get the courthouse behind. And that's where we took our girls to get pictures. And I'm gonna see if I can get across the street here without killing myself, and then maybe give you a shot over the wall at the stairs that they're rebuilding for $70 million. And it's probably worth every penny, but it's just the idea that a set of stairs cost $70 million. So it's pretty interesting. Will you be joining me and CeeLo for the Braves versus the Blue Jays baseball in about an hour? I will be eating dinner, and then I will get home, and I will definitely be jumping into CeeLo's stream. Let's see, I don't know if I can reach up over the top here or not. I'm gonna try, but this is a pretty high fence, and I won't be able to see anything, but heck, you guys will be able to see something. So I think that probably I see a building right in front of where I need to. I'll go up the other side, see what happens. But here's what they call State Street, Cole. This is the main drag in downtown Albany, and this is the size of the city. The rest of it's just sprawl down Route 20 towards a town called Colony, which is the largest town in the state of New York, and I've heard it might be the largest town in New York State, or not New York State, in the United States. But this is what they call State Street, and way down at the bottom, that big old building down there is an extension of State Ed, and I believe was a part of the railroad system at one point in time. So like the main rail station, and there's a couple other buildings down there that were part of that. We have the Wellington here, an old name that I think just bounces around, in the Renaissance Hotel, with the Wellington being the restaurant, the Renaissance being the hotel. So like I said, I'm actually eating right down the hill from here. That's where the Oyster House is, and so I just parked up the hill here a little bit. But yeah, so anyhow, I'm back down 49 pounds. Tried the suit on yesterday. Felt good getting that suit. I'm in Albany, New York, woo. I think that's, is it woo, wow, wow? Ooh, wow, ooh, wow. I'm screwing that up, I know. It's pretty cool. I got all the O's in there. It's Albany, New York. I'm at the state capitol. And they've got a bunch of stuff written up on here, but this staircase right here that you're looking at on that image is the staircase they're replacing and replacing at the tune of $70 million. So quite a bit of money going into it is a nice way to put it. And I think I might be able to, when I get up here, reach over this fence a little so you can see it, because it looks like it's getting a little shorter as we're going up the hill. So you'll see something I can't see, but I'm gonna stick that up over the top, and I'll be able to see it when I get home because I can't see it from here. But they're replacing that staircase and shoring it up and taking care of it. It's years of weather and salt and everything else that they've done to that thing. Just needed to get done. But $70 million, what a price tag for that. It seems extreme, but I'm sure it's worth it. And then up here we have what's known as the Rockefeller Plaza. Governor Rockefeller brought in some Italian marble, and when you see this, it'll blow your mind. I have no idea how much this could have cost. Let's see. Here I have cut around Albany. Oh, no kidding. Your sister's in Waterford, New York, right? Is that right? Or if I remember correctly, am I missing that? I'm probably remembering it wrong, Cole. I know you've said that to me in the past. So, but yeah, up here we have Rockefeller Plaza, and Governor Rockefeller brought in all this marble, which I'll show you here in just a second. And it's been well maintained, which is nice. There's places that are worth maintaining, which is every place if they can. But this one here, minus these buildings, every time I look on, these are state office buildings for the most part. Below here, right where we're walking right now, is what they call the concourse. It's a big, just a big hallway, So, but this is the Rockefeller Center, and when we get up here a little bit further, you'll see the Egg, which is a performance arts center, and you'll see all the marble that Rockefeller had flown in from, again, Italy. And we have this big, expensive, patio, basically is what it is. And in the winter, right where you see the fountains, they put a skating rink in. It's not as big as those fountains, it's a little bit smaller, but nonetheless, it's there. And this all overlooks the Hudson River, which I'll show you. But first, it's the marble, since we talked about it. Let's see. Oh, Round Lake, that's what you told me. Yeah, my daughter's boyfriend's from Round Lake, my youngest daughter's. How I can't remember those things, John. Maybe it's, I call it old timers. The older I get, the short-term memory just seems to skip out a little bit. But yeah, so this is all from Italy. So all this marble, which goes all the way to the State Museum, which is straight ahead of us. All of this marble came in from Italy, and that is known as Rockefeller Plaza because Governor Rockefeller brought it in here. And that is the Egg. So this is the performance arts. I've been to so many shows in here, I couldn't tell you. Typically it's a couple bands I've been in here to see. It's a smaller venue, but comedians are in here all the time. So I've seen all the Impractical Jokers in here when they come on their own. When they came together, it was at the Palace Theater, which is on the other side of Albany. And hopefully it's not too windy up here. I'm gonna try to keep myself shaded from the wind. And I'll show you the Hudson River. It is windy enough where that fountain right there is misting me where I'm standing. So it's pushing pretty hard. You can see the water on there. So hopefully the wind isn't being too much of a distraction here. And I will take this little cheap microphone that I have and put a red dot on it and say never use it again. But so right underneath the Egg now, and my buddy Dan's father actually was one of the not engineers but contractors for this job, and he told us the process of putting the roof on. That's what they're doing, the roof. He said it was a beast. So now what they've done in Albany is they've built a bunch of things to obstruct the beautiful view of the Hudson River, one of which is used to be known as the MVP Arena. I think it still is, with the Pepsi Arena, the Times Union Arena. And they also built what's known as the Dunn Memorial Bridge, which is right there, that snaky bridge, which goes right over the Hudson River, which means that what used to be a view is no longer a view, which is unfortunate. But that is the Hudson River Valley that you're seeing right there. That's due south, the way I'm pointing the camera. You go a couple hours south there, you're West Point, and you don't have to go a couple hours north of there. You're up in the southern Adirondack region, Saratoga, Troy, New York. And this is the Corning Tower. And at the very top of that is the observation deck that's open during the week. So yeah, anyhow, a little quick live here, showing off Albany a little bit. There's a lot more here to show off. I am probably going to hang on a second, let me get it ahead of the sun. How do you know all this? Well, I'll tell you what, wow, I've been in this area most of my life. I grew up just south of here in a little community in Dutchess County, outside of Rhinebeck, New York. My father worked for the state. He was a director of DOT. And I grew up with a man who told us all this stuff. And I remember a lot of it. There's some that, you know, I have to pick my brain a little bit on, and I would have to research a lot of stuff to be a little more thorough with things. But I've been here most of my life, and it's something that interests me. So, you know, like I was just about to say, when I get out on the road on June 27th, I'm actually going to go someplace on June 27th, very close to home, start to set up the next round of YouTube for me. I don't know the lives are going to be a part of it. I've talked to my buddy CeeLo about doing football games, Buffalo Bills football games, when I'm not at them. And this is our firefighters memorial. I know a bunch of cities have these, but I was hesitating on doing a hot dog series because I've worked so hard to lose some weight. And I did a hot dog video out in Toledo that really took off. It did a good job. And it doesn't have to be about hot dogs. It was the theme that I got from Cole, who's in the chat with us. It was the theme of Jamie Farr and MASH. And I only knew that walking in. And then when I got in there, I was able to talk to the people who were serving me and learned a whole lot about all these hot dog buns that were signed on the wall. And I realized then that if you go someplace and it has an attraction, so like Disney or, you know, something people are interested in or searching a lot, Tony Paco's actually gets searched a lot, and so does MASH. Just doing a little research with YouTube. So you have to really find a place. Like walking around Albany, New York, in this plaza, as nice as it is, isn't necessarily something that's going to attract a big crowd. And I know that, and I'm doing this because I made a promise to myself for 110 days I was going to post something on YouTube. And I made it so I was only going to do 1 or 2 shorts a week and 1 vlog a week, where it would be me in those vlogs. Everything else I was going to do AI. This is the Emergency Services, Medical Services Memorial. I know this is fairly new. There was something else here for them, and I think that monument was, God, I want to say within the last 10 years that went up and replaced something that had been there. And then you got the I Love New York thing over here where people are getting their selfies. I'll walk past that and then head to the truck. But yeah, so I think what'll end up happening is I'll end up doing hot dogs. There's a couple really good hot dog stands here locally. I went to one called Famous Lunch. There's another one called Gus's in Waterville Eat. That's really good. It's a little hole in the wall. Someone just did a vlog on it, did a nice job with it. Gus is the son of Gus, runs it now. And there's a really good one here in Albany, New York, that has just been around for a few years that I'm probably going to take a venture to. But what I don't want to be doing is eating hot dogs every day. So I can avoid that by not doing hot dog vlogs every day, right? So I'm going to reel it back. I won't be live or be posting every day. There's a guy who did that on YouTube. His name was Albany. He passed away in December. Was he the reason I got involved in this? Yes and no. Around December when he passed away, I had, just before he passed away, gone back into one of his vlogs about losing weight and keeping track and using a clipboard. And you know, he was like me. He would say he's going to do it, and you get started really gung-ho, get after it, and then find reasons not to do it. And I'm like, damn it, I don't want to do that to myself again. So I'm going to use YouTube a little differently than Adam LaWoo did. I'm only going to use it for accountability. And if I post something every day, do I like in New York? I live in New York. I think it's like, yeah, I live here. I live probably from here, maybe 35-40 minutes from where I'm at right here. So not too far, but far enough where, you know, you wouldn't just come in here to hang out necessarily. When I was a kid, we came in a lot. When I was a kid, we were in town because it had all the bars and everything else. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. So it's probably not something that I would be doing pretty frequently. Yes, there's a car museum up in Saratoga, which is on my list. It's funny you put that up there, Cole. It's definitely on my list. I've been listing out the things locally that I can get to pretty quickly. I do a vlog on or a live stream at, and that's that and a few breweries that are really good that I'm definitely going to go visit. If I do have beer moving forward, I've made my decision that it's only going to be a 6-ounce or what they would call sample size. You know, I'm really just, again, I'm not going to keep this being a quote-unquote fitness tracker channel, which is what I started off being. It's literally just going to be staying in shape. You know, everybody will be able to see that whether I am doing that or not. And you know, so yeah, I just want to go out there, figure if I'm retired, keep myself active, do some things, get better at doing the vlogs like the Tony Pacos one. Work at that, you know, do the research, all the things that you need to do to make them good. And you know, some people are naturals at this. I am not. There's no doubt I'm not. And but you know, I enjoy it, and I'm not looking to become a money maker with it. If I was, I'd probably, you know, drive myself insane doing it, because I sometimes get fully involved with things, and next thing you know, they blow up into a monster. And the last thing I want to do at 58 is make this thing a monster. I'd like to talk about things I'm doing in retirement to save funds. You know, where can you save a buck? You know, talk about my Verizon wireless experience here the last couple of weeks, which has been an absolute nightmare. I was moving from T-Mobile to Verizon. Nothing was working on the phone. They said, okay, I'm going back to T-Mobile. They said, okay, no problem. I said, I don't want to pay the restocking fee, no problem. And they don't remember any of those conversations. It's just endless. I went to the store tonight to return some stuff that I have. That I was told by the people on the phone that I could go there and do that. I get to the store, they can't do it. Yeah, it's just, you know, I could talk about all that type of stuff, share my mistakes, you know, and my mistake was to go to Verizon via not going to the store. I called in about a promotion that they had just to ask about it. And then the next thing you know, this woman sold me the plan, and then they sent everything and none of it worked. And then we had to run into stores and chase things around, get on the phone, get disconnected. It was chaotic. And I don't think Verizon's a bad company. I just think you have to go to the store to set up your cell phone accounts if you're going to do it. But I decided, no, I'll go back to T-Mobile. More than likely, I'm going to have to pay the $50 restocking fee, even though I was told I wouldn't have to. I mean, I think we were just to get it off my chest and get it out of my hair. But I just got off the phone for 2 hours tonight talking to these knuckleheads, and it was crazy. Is it Asa? Asa, how you doing? Good to see you. I like your little picture. I'm not sure what it is, maybe a flower. I'm not 100% sure. So what is this dude doing? This dude here is doing an update on a weight loss commitment I made to myself. 110 days away from my daughter's wedding. I got into live streaming maybe a week or two ago just to check it out. More importantly, I was just trying to get some equipment because I've always wanted to get one of these DJI Osmos or something like it. I bought something like it. It was trash. It froze up on me in my first 2 streams. And yeah, so now I'm a hot dog at 100%. I made that decision this morning. Talking to my brother, he's like, man, just do the hot dogs. You like hot dogs. He says, you know, all you have to do is 1 stand a week. It's not like you got to eat 10 hot dogs a week. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's true. You know, I wasn't thinking that way. I don't know if I want to be known as the hot dog man, but it might turn into that because I do enjoy a good hot dog. and maybe go to a couple ballparks and have a hot dog. You know, so it could turn into that. But I also like Americana. I like to go out and find out history about different towns, and you know, if I think it's real interesting, it can be vloggable, I'm gonna head to it. Like Route 20, which I plan on doing this summer, goes clear across. Where am I? I am, Asa, I am in Albany, New York. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm in Albany, New York. And it is the capital of New York, and you are staring right at the Capitol building right now. So that is where we are. And I'm in between the government buildings. That is the Capitol, and this is one of the government buildings, which is very similar. And it's not really Art Deco. They consider it is because of what they did near the top, but it's not truly an Art Deco building. And I'm standing next to the education building, which has 36 columns on it, which is 10 short of the Parthenon, which is the only one that has more pillars in the world than the education building, which I'll walk out here and show you some of which I've already shown at the front end of the stream here. But beautiful building. Pillars are 90 feet tall. When you walk into the main doors up at the top here, when you go through the security, on the other side of security, the rotunda, or what they call a rotunda, is also 90 feet tall. It's very, just unbelievable artwork in there, and sculpture work on the ceilings. You can see that building right there has 36 columns from one end to the next. I'll walk out to the sidewalk and show you that. And again, the only building that has more is the Parthenon. And this is called a Beaux Arts building. Basically, Beaux Arts was a Paris company, and they were commissioned to design this building. It spans 900 feet, or I can't remember how many blocks it is. It might be 2 or 3. I used to know all that information, but that's the New York State Education Building, and it is the largest of its kind for an education building, and of its kind from the standpoint of the pillars, and there's 36 of them right there. So that's the history on that building. I mean, there's more to it than that, obviously, but yeah, it's a beautiful building. So why is he filming? Again, Asa, I'm filming because it's an update on day, day 87 in a countdown of 110 to my daughter's wedding, where I committed to get out and move and lose weight, where I'm down, since I started losing weight, 49 pounds this morning. Since the stream has started, a little over 30. Since I started doing the YouTube, I should say. And I'm just keeping my commitment to myself to be out here doing something and posting every day. And while I'm doing that, I'm learning new equipment. I'm 58 years old. I'm learning new equipment. I'm learning how to edit. I've learned a lot from a couple of different vlogs that I put together. One in particular where I think I'm gonna use it as my benchmark vlog for what I'm gonna do after the wedding, which is June 27th. And I'm gonna have an update that day. Not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that, either via vlog or live, and let people know what my intentions are moving forward. Not trying to make money on it. I'm not trying to be the next YouTube sensation. If something like that happens, great, whatever. I don't need the money necessarily for anything in a sense of a YouTube dollar. I know a buddy of mine works really, really hard at what he does, and the amount of money he's making for the amount of time he's putting in. Like he said, I do it because I like it. It's a hobby, and that's kind of where I'm taking it too. So it's more of a hobby thing. So yeah, anyhow, just give you another look at that building right there. Why are you watching? Asa, I'm a good guy. I'll tell you that right now. I'm pretty patient. I hope that you're a little bit more intelligent than what it seems like you're acting right now. But you're asking questions that just, to me, probably are, you know, things that you know don't need to be asking. If you don't need to be watching what I'm doing, I'm okay with that. But be a little bit more respectful to the people that are in here. That's all I ask. Okay, that's a simple thing. Anyhow, I'm going to end it here. Hey, John V, how you doing, buddy? Down at the Capitol here in good old Albany, New York, and showing off the education building. I just talked about it. Got 36, columns on it, and it's only second to the Parthenon, which has 46. and just about wrapping it up and going down to eat dinner with my wife. So anyhow, I am going to let it go right there. Cole, I appreciate you being here. I'll see you guys in CeeLo stream in a little bit. Hope you all have a great night. Get out and move and do good things. We'll talk to you in the next one. Some dumbasses in the world, I can tell you that.